Wardrobe furnishings for Retro Game Lounge provided by 80stees.com. For all of your rad retro shirt needs, check out 80stees.com.
Guys, we're back.
Did you miss us?
Yes, it's Mark and Jim. I mean, obviously you got here because you watched probably part 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully.
Why else would you be here? And why, you know what, if you haven't watched part 1, you can get out, all right? Get out of here. But before you do that, at least have the courtesy to click on the link and watch the damn video, because it's really good. It is. He came all this way to give it to you, to be on the Retro Game Hall and show you his pickups. The least you can do is click on that damn video. Just,
click it.
Just do it. Tell them why they should click on it.
Because we have some awesome stuff in part 2.
Really?
Definitely.
How awesome?
Epically awesome.
Whoa. Alright, I'm sold now. But, yeah, let's get into the rest of the pickups, bro.
That sounds
Let's
good.
do it. Yeah, that sounds great. So, Mark, I think it might be about that time, bud.
What time is that?
It's turbo time.
So, I think we're going to start off with a little bundle that I happened to get together here because, dude, when you've been collecting as long as Mark and I have, bundles sometimes are the way to go. Like, when you want to get what you want, like, sometimes you'll have to buy, like, a set of things just to get kind of one thing, you know, because sometimes when you work out the math, you're like, well, you know, if I get this, I'm only paying, like, this amount of money for the game. So, we have here a Turbo Graphics, I know, like I don't have enough of these, a Turbo Pad, we have Final Lap Twin, and we have Keith Courage, the freaking packing game. So, you as a collector, man, if you like saw this in the wild, saw it in a little bundle, was at a reasonable price, how excited would you be?
I was very excited.
Really sell it to me, how excited would you be?
Turbo excited.
You'd be turbo excited? Well, Merry Christmas, man, this is for you.
That's awesome.
I'm not kidding, no, he didn't know I was going to do this.
Oh, wow.
So.
Thanks.
Welcome to the Turbo Club, bro.
Thanks.
This should get you started. Do you have a Sega Genesis Gen 1 adapter and an NES RF adapter?
Yeah.
Then you can play it.
Nice.
That's all you need.
Thanks.
So, congratulations, man. I, Jimbo, host of Retro Game Lounge, officially declare Mark the Game Shark an official Turbo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice, thanks, man.
I know. I'm sure Carrie's going to be pissed at me. She's going to be like, great, another system. Why am I talking in your voice for Carrie? That didn't make sense. Another system for you to collect for that's going to suck away your money. And this one really sucks away your money. But I hope you enjoyed, dude.
Sweet, thanks.
You're welcome. So, man, do we have a stack of sweetness in the Turbo collection this month.
Oh, yeah.
My God, I've been on a tear for these things. We got some accessories, we got some games, and let's just get into it. I'm not going to hype it anymore because the games are going to speak for themselves. So first up, I want to give a very big shout out to my other friend Mark, also known as the Nostalgia Factor on YouTube, for hooking me up with a totally bootleg copy of Castlevania Rondo Blood with the English dub. So basically, this has been floating around the internet for a while, where people took the English audio track for the cutscenes and whatever when Sony ported Castlevania Rondo of Blood to, I think they called it Dracula X Chronicles, to the PSP. And they basically combined that with the original Turbo CD game, which was the original release, so you can play the game and not be like, like you can actually understand what the hell they're saying. So in all the cutscenes, it kind of makes sense because there's story mode and everything, a little bit of anime stuff, and you know that's the version of the game that I want to play because, well, I want to see what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
I've heard that this is the hardest Castlevania game ever made. I played some pretty goddamn hard ones, so you know it's definitely different from Dracula X. Which I played recently on YouTube Live, but it's more or less the same games. Like some of the levels are different, like some of the bosses are different, but I understand the difficulty is ratcheted up significantly. Because Dracula X is pretty hard, so I don't know how I'm going to handle that one, man. This might be the end of me, but thanks, Mark. So next up, ladies and gents, we basically have a example of piecing things together. I've done that quite a few times in my collection here. Just kind of when you're trying to put one big thing together, sometimes you got to buy like a little piece here, a little piece there, and you just kind of assemble it. Like with Chiller, for example. You know, I started out with the manual, then I got the box, then I got the game, and I put the whole thing together for like $50.
Yeah.
So, but here we have Lords of the Rising Sun. At least looks can be deceiving because you know it looks like it's complete and stuff. It's in the turbo case and it's got the manual, but. Like, that's not the original Turbo case. Look at that. Somebody wrote that on there. Yeah, that's not the original one. But It does have the CD and everything, so it does actually have the game and the manual. It's just not the complete case. But luckily enough, I found this copy that also has the game, but it has the actual case.
Nice.
So you've actually got the real thing in there and the real back. And when I combined the two together, it was actually less than the cost of getting the whole thing, you know, as a whole.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like right place, right time and everything. Like I bought one, you know, I originally bought this one just because I wanted to have the game. And I was like, you know, I want the manual and shit. But then I'm like, I see this and I'm like, you know, I could complete it if I get this and I could just like trade this away to somebody else who just needs the CD.
And then you recoup your costs too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I put those together and I'm like Frankensteining it into, here, I'll show you what this looks like. Here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. Take the manual out of A, and we'll get rid of that stupid case because we don't need that. And we basically attach it to this, swap the little case here, and then you've got a complete game.
Nice.
It's easy. I mean, you got to be creative if you're going to do game collecting in this day and age.
Yeah.
Because it's not getting any easier.
Prices keep rising.
Yeah, they do. So let me give you, since you're a TurBRO now, let me give you some advice, some very free advice. I recommend this to anybody who's getting into TurBRO collecting. Anytime you have a chance to get yourself some blank cases, do it. Because you never know when you're going to need them. They have saved me a bunch of times. You can get reproduction labels for the Hue chips, or Hue cards, excuse me, that didn't come with cases like this. Some of them just came in the box with a little tray. And let's be honest, unless you have the box, you know, you don't just want to display the loose Hue card, man. Like, you want an actual CD jewel case to put it in. So there's a lot of throwaway games, man, like, you know, TV sports, football, TV sports, baseball, and everything. They're going for like $9 or $10. When the game's complete, you can get the cases usually for just a few dollars. So if you can get them, you know, it's got the little holder thing, so it holds the Hue chip, Hue card. I always say that wrong. Turbo chip, Hue card, guys, whatever. It's the same fucking thing. You know what I'm talking about.
It's the card.
It's the card, and it holds those things in place. So if you can get these, I got these for really cheap. I think $3 or $4 a case.
It's not bad.
No, go ahead and get them. You never know when you're going to need them to complete a game. So get them. So, as previously seen on Retro Game Hall, the very last episode, I believe, actually, you saw me get Ys 3, which I got from my awesome fellow TurBRO, Chad Ernst. Thank you so much for that great deal. We worked out a little trade. And you had actually asked me the question. You were just like, what about Ys 1 and 2? And I was like, well, actually, they come on the same game. And you're like, well, that's the better bargain. And then you like kind of took the wind out of my sails as far as my pickup. I was like, yeah, I guess I should have gotten that one, Mark. Sorry, but now I have it. Now I have Ys Book 1 and 2, which is the first two Ys games on the TurBRO CD. I'm not really a huge JRPG guy, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, it's some of them, like Breath of Fire, I remember that. I had that in the Super Nintendo, that was pretty cool. Not a big Final Fantasy guy, like, it's just, I'm more of a Western RPG guy, I guess. You know, Fallout, Skyrim, stuff like that, that's a little bit more my speed. But the Ys series I've heard is really, really great. And, dude, it's a TurBRO game. Like, I don't have genres as far as TurBRO games. I want all of them. Twice. I mean, I gotta have them all. But I'm actually looking forward to playing this. I've heard the Ys series is actually really, really cool. It's a really good old school 16-bit JRPG, and you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. But I mean, nothing else. It's an addition to the collection. One step closer. Next up, we got Samurai Ghost, which looks really weird when I look at the gameplay. I'm not sure what to make of this one. It looks interesting, but strange, I guess. I'm honestly kind of looking forward to playing it. This is a Hue card game, so not a CD or anything, but some of those are really strange. You know, TurBRO's kind of like a bastion of those things for like really weird 16-bit games, but you know what? I don't care. Even the strange ones are still kind of fun. And last up for the games, special shout out to my fellow TurBRO, Craig. Thank you so much for the set of labels, bro. I really appreciate that. He was nice enough to give me a set of labels because, as I mentioned earlier, not all of the Hue card games came in cases like this. Some of them came in boxes. So I basically have a set of labels that covers all of the games, much like this game, Time Cruise, which I'm missing a manual for. Please, someone send me a manual. So it covers all the games that did not originally come in cases like this. So if I can get the game and get a case, I've got a manual. Dude, look how quality that looks. I mean, that looks fucking OEM. Yeah. Craig did a really good job with this, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Time Cruise is a pinball game, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Which, the pinball games on the TurBRO are the shit. Like this, Alien Crush and Devil's Crush.
Yeah.
Those will blow your mind. That, you need, if you didn't have a Turboner, like, you know, when you got that system, you'll have a Turboner after you play that. Promise you. Big dick. And last but certainly not least, on this particular TurBRO time, we got a stack of awesome accessories.
Nice.
I mean, am I lying?
Oh,
This is some good shit. Like, this really is. We got all kinds of neat stuff. So, shall we get into it?
absolutely.
Let's jump right in. So first, we have a Bonk's Adventure Manual. And you may be asking, Jimbo, I know you have a copy of Bonk's Adventure because you've had one from the beginning. And you're absolutely correct. I have had one since the beginning. But let me tell you why I bought this particular manual. A little game that came out. It's a triple game that they offered on the Turbo Duo as the pack-in game, which was Gate of Thunder, Bonk's Adventure, and Bonk's Revenge. Have the Bonk's Revenge manual, have the Gate of Thunder manual, didn't have the extra Bonk's manual.
Wow.
So now I basically got a legit pack-in copy version of that game.
Nice.
So,
And there's no difference, like, in the
no,
front or anything?
they just basically, like, they included the extra manual, you know, for the games.
'Cause I know some companies, they're like, say, oh, 3-pack on there.
No, like it's, yeah, the Gate of Thunder thing was like a misfit. I mean, I have the Gate of Thunder manual in the, you know, the case with the CD because that's where I'm going to turn to play the game since I have the other two games on cue card. But I just thought it'd be cool, you know, since to complete kind of the pack-in package, you know, so to speak. So got myself a loose Bonk's Adventure manual, so I've got the trifecta now. I am complete.
Nice.
Speaking of manuals, we have one for Dead Moon. I don't have the game yet because it's really expensive, but I'm hoping I'm getting it because it's a shooter and it looks really cool, but got the manual for so cheap, and like I said earlier, sometimes you gotta piece things together.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, you know, maybe I'll find the loose chip and I've got a case for it and get a label for it, boom, there you go, you got a complete game. So
Yeah, so all you need is the game then.
yeah, basically, yeah. So it's, yeah, you just fight the battles you can win. You know, be smart about this. Next up, we just have a loose Turbo Tap box. Nothing in it, but it didn't cost much money, so that's okay. It's a little beat up, a little worse for wear, but dude, it's a Turbo Tap box.
Yeah.
It's all good. And next, we have a really nice Turbo Tap box, and this one is complete. We have an actual Turbo Tap in there. Look at that shiny box, dude.
It's brand new.
Yeah, this one, I mean, this is flawless, man. Nice colors popping, no sun fade or nonsense or anything. Yeah, just, I've been after the accessories, man. You guys know I like boxed accessories, and Turbo is no exception. And plus, orange is my favorite color, and all the boxes are orange. You gotta love that. I mean, does this impress you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Starting to get a turbo right now.
Oh, damn. Turboner time. Then, we've got a Turbo Pad in an equally shiny box. Complete.
Wow.
With the little tray and everything, man. We got an OG controller. So, you know, even if all my other controllers like completely run out and get destroyed in a fire or something like that, I've still got an extra one ready to go. Because you can never have too many. Because, I mean, dude, some of these games are 5-player games.
Wow.
Yeah, like Dungeon Explorer, that's a 5-player game. And the Turbo Tap, as previously shown, see, right there. 5 players.
Okay. Huh.
So, because 4 players is bullshit. That's for pussies. 5 players is the way to go. Last but certainly not least, on the Turbo Accessories haul, we have an OG TurboGrafx 16 wallet. And I actually remember seeing this in the Turbo catalog when they sent you, where they'd show like t-shirts and all the other things you could buy. I actually really wanted to get one because I had a wallet that was basically just like this when I was that age. It was a little, I think it was a Levi's wallet, and it was like bright red.
Yeah.
You know, when Velcro wallets were all the craze.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to have a couple of them.
Yeah, you gotta have those. You gotta have, like, you know, and look at this. Okay, space for your cash, hold your cards, you got a little change pocket. But that's actually another one of these that I do need to get. There's an orange one. And, you know, hey, orange, obviously their color. It's my favorite color.
Do they come in any other colors?
I don't think so. I think it's just green and orange. Turbo was all about bright colors. Like, that was kind of their thing.
Neon.
They wanted to make, I mean, dude, it's late 80s.
Yeah.
They wanted to get themselves to stand out, so. So some of you may know that I'm actually into collecting Laserdiscs, and I actually have a couple pickups this month in that department that are video game related, like the Mortal Kombat movie, which I actually like. I like the original
me
Mortal
too.
Kombat movie. It wasn't
It's
a
really
bad
good.
film. Like, did you go see it in the theater?
I don't think so. I saw it on video.
Okay. I went to see it in the theater, and I was there opening night with some of my high school buddies. Dude, that crowd was eating this movie up.
Wow.
Like, they were getting applause and everything. Like, when Liu Kang does, like, you know, when he does the kick on fucking, what's his name? Reptile. People were on their feet cheering. I mean, like, seriously, there was a packed house, and people absolutely love that movie. So all the people were like, oh, dude's a freaking shitty movie. Dude, you weren't there when it came out. This was a really big deal.
Yeah.
You know, because all we had at that point was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was terrible. This was basically like
We're
the
not gonna
second.
mention that.
No, that was fucking garbage. This was actually a video game movie that really did a good job of portraying the video game. I mean, it should have been an R rating, you know, because it's Mortal Kombat. That's really the only hit that I personally can give it, is they could have ratcheted up the violence a little bit better, but dude, the fight scenes were fucking awesome. Like the fight choreography when Johnny Cage is fighting Scorpion, that was a damn good fight scene, man. Like even by today's standards, that's a legitimately good fight scene. The guy playing Liu Kang did a really good job. I mean, they had puns. Goro was done by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and they did it for real. You know, they did. If they do that these days, it'd be CG. They actually did a guy in a suit with a puppet. That was some pretty cool shit, man. Like, that really was. So, I'm actually really happy to have this one on Laserdisc. When a movie was filmed in analog, I want to watch it in analog. And this is basically the best analog format. So, thumbs up. Since we covered a really good video game movie, we're going to cover a really bad one now. I love this movie.
Me too.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a 90-minute Nintendo commercial, because that's really all it is. But you know what, dude? It's still kind of fun to go back and watch this when they're talking about the games and the sequence with the Power Glove, and they're playing Super Mario Bros. I mean, it was the first time we got to see the Power Glove was in this movie. First time we got to see Super Mario Bros. 3. I mean, that was like, when you see that in the trailer, they're like, we're playing Super Mario Bros. 3, we're like, holy shit, there's Super Mario Bros. 3, oh my god! You know, I mean, that was fucking amazing.
Oh, definitely.
So, but yeah, I've been after this one on Laserdisc for quite a while. I mean, dude, probably the most notorious video game movie ever made. Yeah. Because it's not based on a video game, it's a movie about video games. So, yeah. I mean, dude, Fred Savage.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with him.
I want to meet him just so I can get this autographed.
Yeah.
By Fred
awesome.
Savage. And I want to meet Lucas, too. He's like, it's so bad. You know? Really cool. So, some Nintendo accessories. Nintendo Power. Battletoads cover. This is only like my second issue of Nintendo Power that I own. I used to be an original subscriber. I was into it from the very beginning, but Mommy Dear actually threw them all out at one point when I was a lot older. And I was a subscriber all the way through the N64 era, like all the way up to GameCube, I think, right before when GameCube started. I was a subscriber, so I had stacks and stacks and stacks of these things, and yeah, they're all gone. So, but that's okay. You know, Battletoads issue. Let's see what else we got in this one. Oh, wow. Go on the ultimate power trip. Get 4 free player's guides even if you already subscribe to Nintendo Power. Wow.
They never gave me a player's guide when I
Game
resubscribed.
Atlas? I don't remember that. Game Boy, More Power, and Ultra Power. Wow. There's that Nestor dude. Yep. So Battletoads is the big one. Daydream and Davy, NES Open Tournament Golf, The Hunt for Red October, Super RC Pro-Am. There was a Super RC Pro-Am? Oh yeah, there was. I remember that. Oh, and wow, this is a big one. Introducing the Super NES. So, the first time that they showed it, I guess. Let's flip to that real quick. Wow. This is when it debuted, ladies and gentlemen. Here it was. I'm sure I was like freaking on the edge of my seat reading this, like showing this to my parents, like, oh my god, here it is! Super Nintendo! So, I mean, because that was the first time when there's basically like a sequel to a system where you were like, where the hype was real.
Yeah.
You know, you had the NES, it was like the greatest thing in the world. It's like, holy shit, we're gonna get more. But I mean, let's see, there's an additional 8-bit APU or audio processing unit to handle the digital CD quality sound. Yeah, not so much. It didn't quite get to CD. They were stretching that a little bit. I mean, the Super Nintendo definitely had quality sound of the 16-bit systems. I thought it was a little bit better than Genesis. They had a slightly better audio chip. I think it was Panasonic made it for them. But CD quality, no. You need a CD-ROM for that. Just the cartridges simply don't have the space. But really cool to have this. Cool addition to the collection. Really good shape. Spine's not too fucked up. Good stuff. Battletoads. And here we have, you remember these, dude? These actually came in NES cartridges. The Nintendo, now you're playing with Power poster. Thought that'd be cool to put back there on the wall with the other posters. Kind of the classic, iconic Nintendo poster.
Yeah.
Think that'll look good on the wall? I think so.
It's in perfect condition.
Yeah, that's mean. You know, they were all folded since they put them in with cards, so you know, trying to find a straight one, damn dude. It's like finding unicorn piss. You know? Next up, we actually have a purchase from the Nintendo store via eBay. These were on sale for $20, I think, where you get the game Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and it actually comes with the Captain Toad amiibo.
Nice.
I'm not a big amiibo guy, but this is definitely a cool little box. to have from Nintendo, and I've actually heard the game is a lot of fun. Like, it's one of the really good Wii U
It's short,
games.
but it's still fun to play.
Yeah, and it's just, I like little games like that, you know, where it's just little kind of exploration, you know, non-committal type of game.
Yeah.
You know, Toad finally gets his own game. At last, he's his own
time.
character. Yeah, it's a little overdue. I mean, look how long it took Luigi to get his own game, and now Toad's getting the final game treatment. Now we just need Princess Peach to get a game. Yeah. Next, we have a couple toys that I picked up when McDonald's was putting these out, back when the Switch was coming out. We got the Princess, and we got the little red turtle shell. Wasn't lucky enough to find Mario or Luigi, but that's what eBay's for, I guess.
Yeah.
You want to complete the collection. It was kind of nice that McDonald's was actually selling these toys like separately. You didn't have to buy the Happy Meal.
That's cool.
Yeah, you could just go up and ask for them. It was like $1 and something to get them. Where I was like, can you just give me one of every one you got? And these are the two they had. So I spent like $2 and got these. Just little things to put on your game shelf. You know, little accents and things. That's always nice. So next up, we have the final addition to my collection of Nintendo cartoons. I already have the original Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I have Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. World. I have the Zelda episodes. I basically got all of it. Captain and the Video Game Master. Every kid's fantasy back in the NES days. A kid who gets transported into the world of Nintendo, where all the video game characters are alive. And now that I think about this, Mark basically sounds exactly like Mega Man in that show. His voice, you know, he's like, "Hi, I'm Mega Man, Mega Hi." That kind of sounds like Mark when you think about it. Mega Hi. I think we need to get Mark to do
Mega Man shirt.
and you have a Mega Man, dude. It's fate, I'm telling you. So this was released by Shout Factory a few years back, and they, as I understand, they didn't put out that many copies of it. It didn't really sell all that well, so these are going for a premium on your secondary markets. These are usually $60 and up. I was actually able to get a little bit better of a deal on it because the case is a little bit worse for wear. It's going to need some adhesive. I mean, look at this. It's kind of, yeah. I need to take some glue to see if I can patch this thing back together, but, excuse me, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to have it. You know, I can hook this up in the arcade downstairs while we're playing video games. We can have Captain N on the back. I like to keep some cartoons running, you know, keep it legit from the air, and completing the collection, man. That's what matters.
Wow, that was mega fun!
Next up, we actually have an accessory for the NES Mini. We have the Edge Joystick, which is more or less just a scaled-down version of the NES Advantage. And haven't even opened it yet, man. Still sealed and everything. And yeah, I was just, I was like, well, I mean, I've got one of these. I was one of the lucky few to get one, and why wouldn't I want the Advantage?
Yeah.
You know, I want the arcade stick to go with it to get my shooter on, because when it comes to shooters, I play better with a stick. It's just, that's the way it is. But yeah, so if you can get one, grab one. And last, we've got, you know, wouldn't be Retro Game All if we didn't have like a really obscure accessory, because that's kind of what we do here. We have a Video Game Entertainment Center, which I guess was invented for 16-bit systems, because you got like a Genesis right here, but you got Super Nintendo cards right there. But what I really like is it's got little ports or little holders for your game controllers, where you can wrap up the wires and stuff.
That's
I thought that was
cool.
really neat. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Buddy of mine found this like out in the middle of nowhere for like $10. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pull the trigger for $10 because I like weird stuff like this. So super cool, man. It's gonna go.
It's not bulky either, like most game centers. They're like huge.
It's really, really thin actually. It's just kind of long, but yeah, just gonna put that back there with the accessory cabinet.
Nice.
So next we have another little gift from my pal Mark, the fan of the Odyssey here. This is just a little eccentricity that I found locally the other day, and since I know he's such a huge Magnavox fan, as I understand it from the guy that sold this to me, this came out of a store that actually sold Odysseys.
That's
like this
pretty
dude
cool.
was OG, and if you look kind of at the logo, it almost looks like the Odyssey logo where it's like repeating itself.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey, Magnavox Authorized Service Center. For two reasons. Again, he's an Odyssey nerd. This is the company that put out the system, and Mark likes to fix things.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of makes sense. Like, he's like the dude behind the dude fixing the shit. And I noticed a severe lack of lighted game signs in his game room last time I looked, so it's like, we need to fix that.
I only have one, the Friday 13th.
Well, now you got another one, buddy.
Nice.
So, yeah, it becomes an addiction, so beware. But,
Thanks.
yeah, man, you can hang this.
Appreciate it.
Sure, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. So, yeah, this is an original one from like the late 70s.
Yeah.
And the guy's basically had it in a storage unit ever since then. You know, lights
It's
up and
very good
everything.
shape, too.
Considering it's like as old as me or older, yeah, it's in pretty good shape. But
Nice.
nah, it's cool, man. This will look good. I mean, you're not gonna find anyone else who got one of these.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the only dude who's got a Magnavox Authorized Service Center sign. So, hey, hope you
Nice.
enjoy it, man. Looking forward to seeing you in the game room.
So, last time I was here, we were playing Contra, as you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Jimbo, I was like, oh, next time we should play Super C. You know, it's the sequel. So.
Like, I don't have it.
Yeah, so as Jimbo was like, I don't have it. I'm like, but you don't have Super C? So, here you go. Now you have
Thanks,
it.
man. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Dude, it's always a good day when you can get a new NES card to add to my Konami collection. Thanks, pal.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. So that about wraps up part 2 of a Retro Game Haul. A very, very special thanks to my good friend and Dirtflix partner, Mark the Game Shark, for making this trek down to hang out with me in the lounge, man. It's been awesome having you here, hanging out, going over some pickups, man, shooting the shit, and just getting into the retro.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we do here. So thank you everyone so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for stopping by, leaving comments, and if you haven't left a comment, leave a comment. Tell us what you thought. You know, was this stupid? You know, are we both like brain damaged and we probably shouldn't be talking to anyone? Okay. Can you say that? Thanks. To all of our fellow gamers, retro or not, game on. See you next time, everybody.
See you guys.
Wow, that was mega fun.